I mean, Chris Rock is one of the greats. You can't, nobody could deny that. Like in terms of his stand-up.
I could argue with you, but I ain't gonna start no shit. But I ain't gonna. I mean, I like Chris Rock, but the thing about, he's a comedy writer. Okay. When I say greats, when you say greats, it gotta be some that make me fucking almost lose my goddamn mind. And,
I mean, okay.
And I'm not putting myself in that category. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I'm not arrogant like that to say me. I'm just like, you think about first Eddie Murphy Delirious.
Yeah.
When I watched Delirious, shit, I fucking couldn't breathe laughing at everything he said. Bernie Mac, Martin Lawrence, his first special on HBO when he was talking about the fly and how the fly was waiting at the bus stop if he was a brother, and he go to the party and the girls treat him all fucked up because he a fly. Only white girl want to get with somebody looking like that. And I mean, when you can remember somebody for their material. And now Chris Rock has some very brilliant stuff that he done. And don't get me wrong, he has some brilliant stuff, but it's so manicured. I like.
Okay, I mean, okay, for example, if you say toss my salad, you know exactly where that came from.
Yeah, Penitentiary 2.
Right, but it got popularized by was it Bring the Pain by Chris Rock, and that was what, like 15 years ago or something like that.
I mean, yeah.
Like people are still saying toss my salad.
You got to be honest.
Chris Rock's comedy
You got to
special.
keep it real though. In the black comedy game, it's about 300 comedians that got family members that been in the penitentiary that know about that toss my salad and went on stage and talked about it. But he has the venue and the fame to bring it first. You understand? And there's no strike against him. But, I mean, it was funny. And you're right. Chris Rock was the first one to do it where we saw it on TV. But he wasn't the first one that talked about that shit. Because I heard about toss that salad way back in the day. I got family members at the penitentiary that was funny. And they talk about the shit, and but then he talk about it. And I ain't dissing him. And see, I know I'll probably get in trouble for this shit, because I'm honest. I think Chris Rock is very talented and very funny. And I'm not dissing that. And he is one of the greats because he's one of our greats to what he done with the comedy world. But I saw people that, like even Mike Epps, when Mike Epps was raw and organic, ain't wasn't nobody could touch him. I'm for real. Mike had some shit that when he would talk about things, but he got on TV and got in the movies, and once you get fame, it takes away from it. And I mean, we talk about something that I study and I watch this shit. So I mean, and I mean, everybody got their opinion, and I mean, right. and I'm not disrespecting. I don't want you to think that.
It's all good. It's all good.
No,
I respect it. I mean, because I'm a fan. This is actually your craft.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to talk to someone. I'm from the outside, you're from the inside. So,
yeah, when I say something, I'm not going to, like if I see Tony Rock, man, you ain't no funny motherfucker. I don't think your whole family ain't shit, And trust me, Chris's show, Everybody Hates Chris, is one of the most brilliantly writ sitcoms I've ever seen in my life. I watch the reruns on a regular. Great. Fantastic. And I want to ask Tony why his character ain't in there nowhere if you a Rock. So, but as far as Tony Rock, he's a newbie to me because I had been doing it. I opened for Chris Rock way back in the day before I never knew Tony Rock. You understand? He wasn't even doing stand-up when I was doing stand-up. And that's the only thing I say. And I'm not dissing because he's funny. He's funny, but he's safe funny right now. And the thing about it, he's safe funny. Like Chris Rock, the things that he touched on some dangerous shit. When he talked about, the difference between a black person and a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was some brilliant shit. That's the stuff that I remember about what he did when he touched on that shit, because a lot of people, you know, you wouldn't know, he could have damn near got in trouble with the whole black faction out there. Oh my God, yeah, NWACP. Why was Chris Rock up there saying there's a difference between niggas and black folk? You know, what do you mean by that word shouldn't even be in our category, you know? And I remember back in the day when they were trying to bury the word nigga, and that was so funny to me. I said, no, we can't bury that nigga, because the nigga is a lot of walking dead niggas out here that need to be called nigga, all right?
What about Dave Chappelle?
Incredible. I think Dave Chappelle is one of the greats. Now, I mean, because, see, Dave Chappelle, when he's on stage, he works, his shit is, he touches on every part of the joke. You know what I'm saying? You could tell when he throwing spontaneous anecdotes inside of what he's written. You know what I'm saying? When he talked about when he was in the car with the limo driver, that one of his old sets, and you know, and he seen a baby out there. It's midnight, baby, what you doing out there? He said, you want to buy some crack? You know, and I mean, this baby talking about shit like that, animated stuff, because I'm a cartoon fan, so I like when you make shit so funny in some terrible situations, and that's where you become like Richard Pryor. He talked about being a drug addict and doing shit like, you know, that shit is hilarious, but it's crazy. He talking about, you know, going to the voodoo lady, and his boy was fucked up and he went crazy, and he, you know, because he probably really went to a voodoo place and saw this shit. But the things that he talk about, where you put the picture in your head, I mean, some people are wordsmiths, and that's why I look at Chris Rock. He puts words together. He develops the point like that. But Dave Chappelle, when he talk, he like police knock him out. He changes his voice to do characters. You know, and he'd be in your own house. He look at this nigga. He came in his house and put pictures of his family up on the wall. Just sprinkle some crack on him. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
That shit's funny, man. You know, and it's just that's that level. That's my kind of comedy. So when I look at my greats, I look at them in that same thing. But because like Ellen DeGeneres, outside of black comedians, Ellen DeGeneres talking to God, her whole bit about talking to God was incredible. Because, you know, people saying, you know, because I mean, I've done things where I've you know, asked God for things that I shouldn't have asked for, like a piece of ass and stuff like that. For real, when I was a chunky kid, I was so horny, man. I was like, please, God, just let me have a piece of pussy and see how it feels, you know. And I really, I mean, I did it for real. But, you know, it was wrong, but I mean, it was something I did. But I mean, but people like her, you know, and then I like fun guys like Rodney Dangerfield touching on stuff. Right. But as like rock stars like Andrew Dice Clay, I mean, his shit, he was prolific in the game, man.
Oh, yeah. When he started, Andrew Dice Clay was incredible with the nursery rhymes and everything. He was the biggest thing at a certain point. And then he
Italians should love this guy being a Jew, making Italian so cool. Because I thought he was Italian all that time, and then I found out he was Jewish. It was like, what? You know, but it was so funny. But the dude, I mean, I've seen even like Sam Kinison, man. I could see why people thought he was legendary. I didn't get into all of it, but when he wasn't yelling and telling jokes, I thought some of that stuff was great, man. You know, I watch everybody, man. If they got guys out there that people don't even, that they had a moment and somehow it didn't get lifted up. You know, like this cat named Bob Nelson, I think his name was. He's a New York cat, man. And he was so funny, the little shit he used to do. And I guess he's still doing stand up, probably doing like, you know, Vegas stuff or something, Catskill stuff. But when they showed his special, the guy was so funny, man. And I was just like, what happened to him? Rodney Dangerfield had brought him on and gave him a spot, man. You know, but I don't know. But the guy, you know, but I give credit where credit due, like Chris Rock, you know, and stuff like that. But there's so many people ahead of Tony Rock where you say he's like the new one. I don't agree. I just don't agree. I'm sorry I got on that whole little step, but no.